The confirmed number of new coronavirus cases reported in Los Angeles County in the last 24 hours is 990, with 7 additional deaths. Here in Torrance, 14 additional cases were reported, with no new deaths. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Colin Kushner. It's Tuesday, November 2nd. We'll soon find out if kids ages 5 to 11 can get vaccinated against COVID-19. An advisory panel with the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention voted today to recommend Pfizer's smaller vaccine dose for the young children. Now CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky will have the final say. The Food and Drug Administration authorized emergency use of the kid-sized doses last week, and the CDC must also sign off on it before widespread vaccinations can begin for that age group. Walensky told the advisory panel that it's a monumental day in the course of this pandemic. She said while the risk of severe disease and death is lower in young children than adults, it is real, and COVID-19 has had a profound social, mental health, and educational impact on the young children, including widening disparities in learning. She added that there are children in the second grade who never experienced a normal school year, and pediatric vaccination has the power to help us change all of that. The younger kids could get vaccinated as soon as this week, as Pfizer already shipped out its first orders of millions of doses to states and pharmacies. Lactating parents in California who are vaccinated against COVID-19 are using their breast milk to fight the virus. Many of them are nursing beyond the 6 months to 1 year recommendation out of determination and fear that human milk is the best protection they can offer their smallest children until a vaccine becomes available to them. The American Academy of Pediatrics published a study this month showing that COVID-19 antibody concentrations were significantly higher in the milk of mothers who were breastfeeding 24 months or longer than in those with shorter breastfeeding periods. Researchers say, quote, the stronger effect of COVID-19 vaccination on human milk immunoglobulins in lactation periods greater than 2 years suggests a need to increase support and health policies that encourage such long breastfeeding periods in times of a pandemic. More studies are needed on how long these antibodies last in human milk and on their implication in protecting the breastfeeding population over time. In California, more than 671,000 kids between the ages of 0 and 17 tested positive for the coronavirus. That's 14.7% of all cases statewide. 37 children died from COVID-19, according to the latest data from the California Department of Public Health. Health experts have continuously urged pregnant women to get vaccinated to protect themselves and their babies. Last month, the LA County Public Health Department said more than 13,000 pregnant women tested positive for COVID-19. 63 infants tested positive as well, and 12 pregnant women tragically passed away. The potentially faster spreading versions of the Delta variant is now detected in at least 8 states. AY4.2 is a descendant or sublineage of Delta, and at least 1 case was spotted by labs in California, Florida, Maryland, Massachusetts, Nevada, North Carolina, Rhode Island, and Washington State, plus, of course, Washington, D.C. Here in our state, San Diego and San Francisco counties each detected a case. AY4.2 was first detected in the United Kingdom over the summer, and health officials there say they are investigating a growing share of cases from this strain. While this descendant to Delta may spread somewhat faster, researchers have not found evidence of it causing more severe illness. They also say current vaccines remain effective against it. Immunity from either getting vaccinated or recovering from COVID-19 can last 6 months or more. That's according to a science brief released by the CDC. The brief looks at peer-reviewed and preprint data, as well as data that is unpublished by the CDC that compared those who got the coronavirus to those who got vaccinated. The agency said available evidence shows both groups of people have a low risk of subsequent infection for at least 6 months. Data also shows a fully vaccinated person actually has a better initial antibody response. A separate study from the CDC found that vaccination better protects against hospitalization as well compared to someone who was previously infected with the virus. Researchers came to this conclusion after looking at more than 7,000 people across 9 states and 187 hospitals. And as previously stated, the CDC says getting vaccinated after an infection significantly boosts production from COVID-19 and reduces the risk of getting infected again. The world's largest country is now a very high-risk travel destination. The CDC added Russia to its highest risk category this week. Russia covers more than 17 million square kilometers, or 6.6 million square miles. It moved up to level 4 from level 3, which means there have been more than 500 cases per 100,000 residents in the past 28 days. Belgium also made the list into the highest travel risk category this week, along with Burkina Faso, a country in West Africa, and Slovakia. They joined many popular international vacation spots. Still in level 4 are nearly 80 countries, including Austria, Barbados, Greece, Ireland, the Maldives, Thailand, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom. The UK has been in the highest travel risk category since July 19th. Greece has been there since August the 2nd, and Thailand since August 9th. The CDC urges travelers to avoid these areas at this time, and if they have to go, to get vaccinated beforehand and to take all the safety precautions, such as masking up and staying socially distanced from others. Measures to curb the spread of COVID-19, such as mask wearing and social distancing, led to a huge drop in Americans hospitalized with the flu last year, just 155 compared to around 8,600 the year before. But the 2021 flu season is expected to get a lot more Americans sick, and medical experts say COVID-19 symptoms do overlap with the cold and flu. So if you think you're getting sick but don't know what you have, here are some things to keep in mind. Common cold symptoms include a mild temperature of 99 degrees, a sore throat, runny nose, a cough, and thick mucus that changes color. People with the flu likely have higher fevers of around 102 degrees, severe sore throat, fatigue, a runny nose, a dry cough, headache, and body aches. Medical experts say fully vaccinated individuals who are infected with breakthrough COVID-19 cases will likely feel as if they have a common cold. Doctors also say if you're not feeling well, be patient, stay home for the first day or two if possible, and make sure you call your doctor instead of rushing to get a COVID-19 test, since it cannot detect the virus until it replicates for about 3 days. And they say the best advice is to get plenty of rest, eat nutritious meals, and wear a mask. Thousands of students in LA who did not get vaccinated against COVID-19 are now missing out on some popular school activities. They are ineligible to participate in school sports, band, and drill teams following the LA Unified School District's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. The district's deadline has passed for those ages 12 and up to get at least one shot of a coronavirus vaccine. Student athletes were required to receive their first vaccine dose by October 3rd and their second no later than October 31st. Proof of vaccination is now required to participate in such extracurricular activities, and about 70% of students have met these requirements. This mandate does not affect the Torrance Unified School District. TUSD officials say it is very important to continue screening children every morning and checking to see if they have a fever of 100.4 degrees or higher, or are experiencing chills, sweats, coughing, vomiting, or diarrhea. The school district also offers free PCR testing at the 4 main high school sites for any student or staff member, Mondays through Fridays. The ports of LA and Long Beach can now begin finding ship companies that slow down the unloading process. Starting Monday, arriving containers set to be moved by trucks will be allowed to stay for 9 days, and containers set to move by rail can stay at the ports for 3 days. After that, ocean carriers will be charged $100 per container per day. Long Beach commissioners say containers that linger too long on the docks are delaying the berthing of vessels, leading to record numbers, of ships waiting off the coast and consumers and businesses across the country waiting for crucial shipments. Officials say 40% of containers are left for 9 or more days, compared to before the pandemic, when they were typically there for less than half that time. Record demand for imported goods, labor shortages, and other factors led to the backlog, causing delays, threatening the U.S. economy, and raising prices. About 40% of all shipping containers entering the U.S. come through the LA and Long Beach ports. California issued more than 1 million new stimulus checks since late last week. Most of those payments were mailed out starting Monday. The latest round of the Golden State stimulus, 2 payments, includes 1.15 million payments that total $857 million, according to the California Franchise Tax Board. Eligible residents will receive a check for $600 plus another $500 for a qualifying dependent. 750,000 paper checks are scheduled to be mailed out this week, and 400,000 direct deposits should have hit bank accounts last Friday. So far, the state has distributed more than 4.4 million GSS2 payments, with a total value of more than $4 billion. The stimulus checks are being sent out on a rolling basis through the beginning of next year. An estimated 9 million people are expected to receive a check. Speaking of money from the government, the Internal Revenue Service started issuing a tax refund to 430,000 more taxpayers. These are individuals who received unemployment pay last year. It's the latest batch of corrected refunds for millions of people who paid taxes on the benefits which were excluded from their income last year under the American Rescue Plan. Under the legislation, the first $10,200 of unemployment compensation received in 2020 would not be taxed for individuals and married couples who earn less than $150,000. An estimated value of the new round of refunds totals more than $510 million. The IRS identified at least 16 million taxpayers who received unemployment and may be eligible for an adjustment. So far, the agency sent out 11.7 million tax refunds valuing about $14.4 billion to recipients of the federal benefit. Another batch of corrected refunds is set to go out before the end of the year. Typically, the IRS sends out letters to impacted taxpayers within a month of the adjustment with details about the payment. Most people do not need to take any further action to get the money. The Torrance City Council will not meet tonight to conduct city business. It is a previously scheduled dark night. The next council meeting takes place next Tuesday, November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Community members can participate virtually by calling 310-618-2404 as the chambers are no longer open to the public. The meeting can be seen right here on City Cable and online on the city's social media platforms. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share some feel-good stories from our community, pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. There is still time to share a special message with your favorite veteran. Veterans Day is on November 11th, but we will be celebrating all week long here in the city of Torrance as Veterans Appreciation Week is set for November 7th through the 13th. The city and the Torrance Social Services Commission will thank our veterans through a virtual recognition program, and community members can take part by submitting a tribute message to honor the special veterans in their lives. Anyone interested can email a brief tribute video message to veterans@torranceca.gov by Thursday, November 4th. Photo submissions will also be considered with messages. You can learn more by going to torranceca.gov/veterans. Now, if you have a great story, upcoming event, a photo or video you'd like to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. We'll see you back here tomorrow as Christine Lee brings you the latest. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.